Hey everybody, Rodamon here. Thanks for tuning in to the Philosopher King, a RimWorld royalty series about being a benevolent ruler in a benevolent society with these rules and goals, and then of course the projects that you all vote on for me to work on. Picking up where we left off, we were offered a quest, Furious Prisoners. So it is a 15-day hosting of 10 prisoners for this amount of rewards, right? I could pick one, of course. The Resmec Serum looks phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. The issue is 15 days for 10 prisoners with blood rot is a lot of work. It depletes a considerable amount of our not so healthy med stockpile. And the raid itself could spell extinction to this colony. I did ask in the comments what you guys thought, and overwhelmingly it was sort of like, hey, we're not a prisoner colony. We don't have to do this, and I agree. All right, so what I'm going to do at this point is most of our construction projects are done. I'm going to re-enable the research bench because we only really have 2 researches left. We aren't doing Starflight Basics or anything thereafter. We are leaving with the Stellark, which is a new, as of royalty, way to win the objective. Now, I did mention that I needed to redesign the anti-sapper area, and that's something I'm going to have to do now. So what I'm going to do here is create sort of like a encouraging sapper corridor. It's not going to be perfectly symmetrical east-west, or like vertically rather, but it'll have to do. So the idea behind this is that sappers want to fight towards your bedrooms, and they also want to avoid turrets. And given those two requirements, you can set traps up for them where you've designed it so that they only enter your base a few different ways. I've mentioned this a lot in the past, but what I'm planning on doing is steering my sappers towards this area here, right next to my bedrooms. This is actually why the bedrooms were never incorporated into the castle itself, but off to the side. That was entirely purposeful in order to reduce the sapper strain. Okay, so this is 59, 8. $67, so like 30 and 29. I'm just trying to figure out where the middle point is. It doesn't need exactly be in the middle, but I'm going to put my turrets just 15 up, and they'll overlap, and that will have to do. So this uses up even more of the precious steel that we had a low amount of stocks of. Another thing was the way I drained out the swamp with cabling. I, of course, could have used the unstable power cell. I should have. I just honestly forgot about it. I didn't remember that I had one available to use. Normally, it would be vanometric, and vanometrics, of course, I'd remember. Oh yes, I have a vanometric power cell. This makes sense. I'll go ahead and use it. All right, so I'm designing it so that sappers are encouraged to fight into my castle via paths I've laid out for them. This is to be honest, a bit of abuse of their AI, but in a way, a necessary one because sappers can be so destructive, especially late in the game when there are, dozens upon dozens of them coming into your base in a, generally speaking, undefended part of your base. So Bubbaloo, I have something to ask of you. I'm going to call a trade caravan from the Imperials, because I have literal tons of wood, which means I can sell it to them. I did lumberjack a huge portion of the godswood. All right, so what I want to grow here is some trees around the godswood. I think this is really all that I'm going to do. So I'm going to do oak trees. Wow. That was bad spelling. My fingers were offset. Poplar trees. Now, of course, there are some mud spots here. What if we had a further out ring? So let's see how far out our ring needs to be. Maybe a 2-band, 3 out. So, like this. Poison synthesis is already done. That was very quick. Let's put poplar here. And this will form a little ring around the, I guess it needs to be 3. But a little ring around the godswood. What else do we want? Maybe I'll do poplar and oak again. Now, of course, you can only sow trees based upon the biome that you're currently in, right? So, you know, I can't put rainforest trees down. That's just not how this works. And that'll have to do. And then once those trees are sown, I might expand the zone a little bit. It depends on how much effort that takes. I don't have a lot of growers, which is why I have to be careful about how much I queue up for them. So, shuttle arrives in 5 days for Pachopmus, and it will be good to happily host someone who's who we haven't let down, I guess. All right, quest available pteropods. That sounds awful. Oh wow! So a crazy damaging mechanoid swarm for almost no rewards. Yeah, no. Easiest decision of my life there. Do I want to immediately get terror murdered? No, I do not. Thank you for asking. Sometimes, the decision to or not to accept a quest is, just so easy. Talon, you are in a really bad mood because rebuffed by Poppy. Yes, well, that's gonna happen. Let's try a throne speech, but this time... Now, I'll do it in the morning, but this time throw on the top hat. Now, temporarily, Bubbaloo will be upset by wearing a top hat because I don't think the top hat is befit for someone of his... Yeah, only mid-tier nobleman, right? It's not high-tier nobleman, but the benefit to social will be sufficient, I think. We still have a little bit more tasks to do. We have a lot of... I've decided to go against the fire and just pull up the floorboards here. And then we have had enough work tasks queued up. We have a Manhunter pack of Boomalopes. Oh my. Alright, Falstupia, you are... Oh, this here... A bit of bad timing, because I had just removed some of the some of the old doors that don't open quickly. And immediately as that happens, I get this new queue of a rather sizable amount of boomalopes coming to try to murder me. Now, the thing is, they may chain react if I'm fast. Oh, you only have 5 blocks? Oh, boy. I might actually have to... Yeah, let's scrap this. I'm not going to have time to wall this up properly. We have wood... Or actually, we have steel right here. I'm just going to throw some steel walls in. It's flammable, but it will have to do. Because we just simply don't have time to properly protect ourselves. Yo, Faustupia, you've got to build. There. Scheduling everyone to safe. I'm going to have to repaint the safe zone. I can see that now. So... is to not allow people in past the doors. There. These doors eventually will be closed shut. And as predicted, the boomalopes do chain together. And blow up one another. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to wake my shooters here. Because we do have an Imperial trader coming in. And I don't want them to get injured or hurt or whatever. So I'm going to fight the remainder of these boomalopes, which there aren't many, because they did, as I suspected, chain react. And clear out the remaining boomalopes. This should be, honestly, quite easy. Now, unfortunately, they did trigger a bunch of the IED trap shells, and the roof collapsed. Okay, there's only like 6 left of the... it won't even tell me how many. Dozens. I haven't actually restricted my animals to a specific zone either. Now, I don't want to shoot this boomalope so close to the exposed wiring and the like of my... Here, let's put this one out before it dies. Okay. Now, scheduling... There. Put this fire out. Not really the best way to wake up in the morning, but as far as Mathis, you're gonna get burned. As far as oh no, Free Dog got burned. As far as the Manhunter pack, that one was quite easy. All right, Zero, I'm gonna put you on construction rather than mining. You've mined enough. What happened to the light you had? I suspect it was destroyed. Oh, did Damien burn himself as well? Oh, Damien's getting old with some hearing loss. Okay, we are definitely going to have to power up the old crematorium. Now, one of the other wonderful things is most of the boomalopes actually burn themselves out, so that they aren't even... I don't even have to deal with their corpses, I guess, is the way to put it, because they torch themselves. And that's okay. Very interesting event. Okay, so most of the fire has been naturally put out. Bubbaloo, I think it's time. It's not really the morning anymore. So, the count-specific apparel, not that big of a debuff, but the royal speech chance of something good has gone up due to the top hat. And then the top hat, for me, is noticeable enough that I won't forget to switch it out. I mean, it's kind of an obvious, big, bright thing, right? All right, Patochipmus. Hopefully we can give you a nice speech this time. Did I tend you? I did. Okay, good. And it's encouraging. Very, very fine. A little bit of rain to finally put out the fires caused by the boomalopes. Look at this anima grass. I think at some point, it looks like it only fills up this radius. Right? I mean, that seems pretty clear. So we're hitting maximum anima grass amounts. Works for me. I can't use it, as mentioned. We are just waiting for Patochipmus to, or pot chop. I don't know how to pronounce that. To leave, breaking down the old monument here. This monument did help us a lot by setting those angry polar bears. That was a good time. Let's fix this wall now. It was always supposed to be like that. And Empire Spirit coming in. I asked them to come because they buy wood, and yes, please, is all I can say about that. Oh, great. Your Muffalo traipsing right through my my courtyard and my barracks. Alright, I don't need all of this cloth either. I don't have use for it. That was probably a bit larger of a bounty than I needed. I'm going to buy the advanced components. Let's see. What else can I buy from you guys? Buy steel. You have a psychic harmonizer. I'm going to sell wood. Wow, we are almost perfectly broken even. They have more L-Tech shirts, but I have a few. Yeah, I'm going to buy one more. Double strand robe. Oh, yeah, right. We were making double strand robes for sale. I forgot about that. So it's good that I had that. And let's sell you some ambrosia. Just seal the deal. Big trade. Very, very big trade. I guess while you're here, Zero, I'm going to have you crank out a few royal robes for our, as a gift to maximize our reputation. Another thing I need to start working on is cataphract helmets for everybody. Because there's no movement speed penalties or anything like that for a cataphract helmet. Alright, so let's gift you some stuff. That's only 3 rep? Oof. Tough crowd. Six rep. It's something. It's a start. I don't think I'm going to use any more Devil Strand. Just let them leave. And then, Shay, would you call in Airbabum? We're going to ask for exotic goods. And then Faustopia, call in, and Talia. They won't show up at the same time because they're hostile with one another, but they're not hostile with me. So now, as you can see, my edge walls are fully turret defended with perfect coverage other than these two squares here. So sappers can come in here or come in here. Doesn't mean they necessarily will perfectly, but they're encouraged to. They're more likely to. Okay. My animal hauling. I don't believe I need animal haulers in here anymore. Keep them out of the God's Wood entirely. Unfortunately, it's hard to zone for a circle in RimWorld. Now, the only time that I would allow animals to go anywhere is if I had people that needed rescue, right? Because most of my pets are trained in rescue, and you know, if I was unconscious, they'd be really handy to help pull me to safety or whatever. All right, the animal hauling zone is no longer going to include the inside where I cut stones, because I'm just not doing a whole lot of stone cutting anymore. They won't be allowed here either. And we will only allow them to cross over at this point. Or actually at this point. Some of the old, actually, take a look. Some of the old animal hauling zones don't really make sense. So let's allow them through those doors. Through this one. And this one. I guess I could allow them through a bunch of these doors. It would just create... The issue, of course, is it creates filth. No, we're not going to allow you in here. It creates filth that requires someone like Shay to run around and then clean up after them. Which is considerable work. So doing the repairs, and then once the repairs are done, we will be pulling up the flooring that I want to get rid of. We're almost entirely done with our research tree, which is pretty neat. I guess some of these barricades did take a bit of beating. Zero. I'm going to have you on smithing. We need more shells. No, not deep drill. Smithing. And let's unsuspend. And this is so that we can IED roof trap the remainder of these of those zones. Neural computation is done. Now what this means is we can fully break down the research room entirely. Move the chairs and the like. Oh, let's get that wall segment in. That would be really bad. So many armchairs. Almost enough armchairs for our entire population. You know, we have 10 permanent. So everybody but Erwinath has a chair. Kind of seems unnecessarily rude. I'll add some additional chairs. And maybe even move the telescope. Because the telescope, of course, would be... Not that pawns care, but it would be blocking the TV. We've decided against Furious Prisoners. It was clearly more effort than it was worth. So we got the whole, let's call it entryway, all set up. One door propped open. We have Mathis cremate the remaining bodies. We are starting to break down... Oh, here comes exotic goods from everyone. We're starting to break down the research bench and soon the multi-analyzer. Most of these, all these pillars except for one, which I guess we didn't have an automatic rearm, has been rearmed. Okay, there goes the multi-analyzers. Now, one of the things that we could do here is to add some additional bedding, right? Trying to make room for such a thing. So we have up to 8. It's not a perfectly efficient use of space, but we could have up to 8 hospital beds in there, which is plenty. Bubbaloo, would you be so kind? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, wear the top hat first and then trade, and get a little bit of trade benefit. And switch back. So, what do you got for me? You've got advanced components, which are always welcome. Let me first figure out. Oh, and Plasteel. First, figure out if there's something I want to sell to you. Mass chaos skip, stun, and neural heat dump. Well, let's see. Mass chaos skip would be useful for both of them. Neural heat dump. Bubbaloo knows. Okay, so we want those neurotrainers. If we can get them. They're expensive. And they are not willing to buy much that we have available to sell, obviously, as you can see. So, I don't need stun. It's gonna be a rough trade. We are gonna bankrupt ourselves. All right. Well, that's fine. And Talon, you're gonna be learning heat dump. Now, I don't know a scenario where I would want to heat dump into Bubbaloo, because you really only you could. I guess hypothetically we could heat dump to Erwinath and knock her unconscious because she wouldn't be a combatant anyway. She wouldn't fight or anything. But okay, there we go. So we're removing flooring now. The purpose of removing flooring here is our animals that traverse here often, because this is sort of our entryway, no longer create filth. So it does look a little weird that we have exposed cabling in the floors, but it's just to reduce the amount of cleanup work that I have to do. So if you check animal hauling here, as you can see, they're only allowed where there is no floors. And readjusting. This, I believe, was beer, right? Yeah. I guess the hops grew enough that we could do a full harvest. I don't think we're replanting many hops. But it's getting pretty cold, and I suspect that we will lose crops if I wait any longer. What? 2 air ribbon back to back? One must have not been triggered by the trade request. This must just be 2 novel and separate trade groups. One, you know, likely I requested, and the other just happened to show up. I think it's about time that I mine out the jade that's here, and maybe, now that most of my construction projects are done, put Talon back onto art. And have Talon make some art for sale, because we have 3 silver, which is just not very much. I said quite obviously. Alright, but Blue, you still have your top hat on. I can see that. I'm going to have you trade with them first thing you wake up, and then wear your prestige helmet. Quest expired. Yeah, I didn't want the Shack of Fortune. Seems to me that my animals are hunting for themselves a bit often. Barn corpses here. I am going to allow all animal corpses now. And this will give them something to eat. For the ones that eat meat like that. Alright, so this trade, my worry is, of course, I don't have anything neurotrainer plants I'd really like. So let's try to square up neurotrainer plants by selling gold. Oof. I'd have to sell all of my gold. I'm willing to do it. Sell some components as well. Alright. It's expensive. It's not my favorite thing to do. Oh, hold on. Let me sell some of the incendiary rounds instead. I can deep drill for gold. It just gives Zero a lot more work for her to work on. So the neurotrainer plants, I was thinking of trying to get Ervanath to become a bit of a nature green thumb. She doesn't have passions in it, but she has level 10, so that's going to be enough for her to be capable to grow and replant stuff. So that was the hope. Okay. Once we're done smithing, Zero should dig jade. Yep. Talon. Wow, you were just always praying. Alright, I'm going to prioritize art over construction because we're just about done with all of our major construction projects. We're going to do some hunting. Sorry, Mega Sloths. It's really nothing personal. Alright, so the pets are hauling all the jade into the drop boxes. Talon's finishing this grand sculpture, which I might be able to trade to the exotic goods in time. For some silver. There we go. Now we're not super broke. And then, Talon, let's have you Make small sculptures out of jade. Very fine use of jade, I think. Oh, wow. So I would say that this is a natural passing of an ally. But even still, Royal Tribute Collector coming in. Uncle of Patop, whatever, you lady. That still means that I am going to gift them. Oh, they will not take urns? If they won't take urns, rules are rules. I'm going to send them to them anyway. So I'm going to send them a bunch of miscellaneous leathers as a gift. And urn. 1 urn. Because, yes, I didn't get him killed. He had a natural heart attack and failed to seek medical attention. So in no way am I responsible for that man's death. But rules are rules. He died on my soil. I think it's only right that I gift them a bit of urn and some other stuff. So the flooring that we had in here is all pulled up. I'm sort of tempted to clean it up. It's definitely a waste of my time. I will not deny that. But if we are pretty close to getting all the other work done, that's a chore that it would make the base look a little bit nicer, just a little bit. And yeah, there really isn't much else to do out here. Hell of a chore. Hell of a chore. Alright, so the Royal Tribute Collector, I don't have anything for them. They're just looking for slaves or gold, and I don't really have either. Okay, I already feel bad about cleaning this up, so I'm going to remove it. And then we have more exotic goods traders coming in. And a shuttle arrived. Alright, let's get in that shuttle. And this, of course, hospitality gives us some plasteel and advanced components as well. It was a pretty easy one to do. So, no trouble there. So I called in all these allies with their trade caravans as a favor, and then didn't end up really utilizing them for trade all that well. I will admit, I didn't actually have a lot of resources for them to take. Oh, animal hauling should be allowed up here. This was once a mech cluster, and I guess I never repainted it. Okay, so this is ready, and it's due for Erebum. Alright, let's send this... Oh, never generated the planet. Send this to Erebum as a gift. And here we are, staring down... Smoke Pop? Yeah, let's try to buy Smoke Pop. That'd be a really powerful one, and I'm going to sell... Ooh, I really don't like selling components, but alright, I'll sell components for it and gold. To break even, to keep the the paltry amount of silver that I currently have. Alright, so what I'm going to need to do is to find me some gold, underground gold. I've labeled them. It's plasteel, jade. Gold's going to be like a very small silver, a very small node. Rare metals tend to be... Oh, here we go. There's gold. So I'm moving the unstable power cell over to it. And then I will move the drill and the light. I've mined up all of the terrestrial jade that I can see. Yep, it's all gone. Combat supplier flying overhead. I don't think I have an assault rifle. That was that heart attack guys, I guess. I don't have much to trade to a orbital trader. I guess an EMP launcher, and I don't know. We'll see. I'll plug it in. And then Suicidal Beasts is another one. Another quest available. I'll take a look at that. Okay, I could sell my Zeus Hammer. It's a pretty nice thing to have, though, in case I get another, brawler. There we go. That's a little trade. Suicidal Beasts. So, Count Gelly. Oh, it's Gelly again. Hi, Gelly. Wants to send 36 mana hunting elephants. They'll arrive in 6 hours, and we could potentially get some really good resources out of it. I guess I would consider it for the Eltec staff and the uranium. I don't know. We don't really need uranium, if I'm being honest. It just seems like he wants me to kill for sport. You know, I'm actually going to reject this one. It just seems like killing for sport to me. And that would not be a very kind thing for me to do. And the rewards just don't pay very well. Alright, so the gold deep drill is set up and Talia's leaving. We are just waiting for these fermenting barrels. Oh, I don't know why I have this installed. Let's nix it. So I'm adding, oh, and safeguarding royals. That sounds a little bit more benevolent to me. A mech cluster 3 times normal size will deploy nearby. Oh man. Jeez. Jeez Louise. Well, possibly. I'm not going to say no just yet. How long do I have to decide? I have 7 days to decide. So, once again, let me go over. We have got... It is 2 court allies, a ×3 mech cluster, and the allies have blood rot. I have to keep their mood up, and I gain a little extra goodwill if I keep their mood up well. Gives a ton of gold. Oof, gold and Glare World meds. Yeah, that's really, really hard to turn down. But Again, I guess I will allow you to chime in the comments and let me know. I, for one, am leaning towards it, but, you know, you can always disagree. There's no issue with that at all. Well, with that, guys, that is all the time I have. It was sort of another more or less peaceful episode, other than the heart-attacked friend and the boomlopes. If you have any feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below. I'm likely to stop having the polls for the Choose Your Own Adventure in lieu of preparing for the Stellark departure. If you think that's the right call, again, you can drop me a line in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Farewell.